Hi everyone, this is GK. Welcome to GK's Golden Knowledge Show on Business and Finance. In this episode, we have with us a wonderful guest, and her name is Joey Gan from JOMO. Joey, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Kikwan.
You're most welcome, Joey. So Joey, can you share with us what do you do?
Okay, my brand is called JOMO, JOMO. A lot of people ask me this question, why it's called JOMO lah. It's actually come from this word called joy of missing out.
Okay.
So what we do in our business is that we want to miss out things that is not great to us. So we are actually a company that sells beauty products, but our beauty products, right, seeks to make the world a beautiful place as well as making ourselves beautiful as well. So we are trying to work on sustainability where you know, that is the very important agenda in all businesses. And we want to miss out all the toxic elements that is always embedded in our beauty everyday products. So
Mhm.
these two things that we want to miss out. And that's how JOMO is formed, selling sustainable, clean beauty products.
All right, that sounds awesome. Sustainable and clean beauty products.
Yes.
Okay, so how long have you been doing this business already?
Well, we have been open since 2020. Actually, we started in as a workshop
Mhm.
before COVID
Okay.
and teaching people how to make their own clean beauty products.
Mhm.
Along the way, when COVID came and there's no meeting up with people, and a lot of our clients came out and say, "Hey, Joey, I really want to buy your things, but we are very busy. We can't make products." So therefore, it came to a conclusion that maybe we should start creating products that can be shared with our clients and people who wanted clean and yet sustainable products.
So what does sustainability mean to you and your business, and how does it influence your product development?
I used to be in the beauty industries. When I teach workshop, I realized I
Mm.
throw a lot of things after every workshop. And
Okay.
then, and of course, during my earlier years in uni, I was in charge of the sustainable project. So
Mhm.
along the way, I quite mindful about waste. So
Okay.
as we do the workshop and realize that a lot of things was wasted, we look at to beauty industry and realize that whatever we use, we just use one bottle and throw another bottle. So that's why we realize that is that a possible way that, because beauty is something that we use every day, and because it's every day, it means that the wastage is super huge.
Mm.
And
Agree.
your question to sustainability, in my sense, is just cutting down wastage, in a way that can we even take this out from our life? So we relook at consumer behaviors and trying to find out how do we actually do in our daily life using beauty products and cutting down on waste. So with that, right, we decided to look into the formulation and realize that actually we do not need a lot of water in our
Mhm.
formulation. And with that, without water, right, we saw that it itself can actually save a lot of plastic bottle because the plastic
Mhm.
bottle was created to hold the water. The idea itself can actually um, cut down on waste and contribute to the sustainability of beauty products in the consumer world.
So in a typical beauty product, for
Right.
other brands, not your brand,
Mm.
what is the percentage mix in terms of water and non-water components?
Well, on a normal basis of shampoo and body wash and facial wash,
Mm.
around 60 to 80% is made out of water to mix the ingredients.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's how we realize that.
Mm.
And because of that, if we were to make it into solid form, the amount of plastic bottle is not required.
Mm, mm. That's
So,
very true.
and with that discovery, we realized that that would be a huge way to cut down on plastic bottles. Because
Mm.
if you look at it at one point, right, if one person use around 6 bottles per year, think about 3 billion people per year.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
that's huge.
scary.
Yeah, so just one change can change quite a lot of wastage being thrown away. So we decided to work on to solid permutation.
So I'm pretty sure in this sustainable living space, right, there will be also other competitors or other brands.
Yeah.
So what sets JOMO Studio apart from the rest?
Well, I can only highlight that probably that I'm a
Mm,
mother. So my point of view as a mother was to make sure that at least it is kind to our body. And
mhm,
being mother as a mother, we always look at all the criteria to make
mhm,
sure our children are protected. So in a way, we probably look beyond not just business, but in a holistic way for our children. So in
mhm,
a way, like we look at the ingredients and we also look at what our future generation would we want to see them in. So my
mhm,
mindset as a mom and also as an entrepreneur is probably set myself apart. I'm not so sure about other brands, but
mhm.
this is what I feel mine being different. And
Okay.
also I guess being a designer as well,
Mhm,
we have the idea of like function and beauty together.
mhm.
So that would probably be the difference that we make in the beauty world.
I see. So it's
Mm.
not just, being in the business purely for profit, but also to ensure that your products are safe for your consumers, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's nice to know. So what impact do you hope your products will have on the environment as well as your customers' lifestyles?
Well, okay, this is one of the takeaway we wanted. It
Mm,
actually started from us. So
okay.
when we started to think about sustainability, everybody
Mm,
wants to be sustainable, but we do not know how to start with. So with that in mind, right, we wanted to advocate any consumers who want to take a stand. And
mhm,
it's quite difficult because there was a point of time when I wanted to be sustainable. I realized out in the market there wasn't any or even easier for me to input into my lifestyle.
okay.
Say, for example, there was a point where I wanted to buy a refill, and I
Mhm,
found it very difficult to even find it elsewhere. So that's the reason I found that empty slot, the missing point. And then we wanted to make a sustainable product that anyone can start with,
mhm.
start a sustainable life easily without a change of lifestyle.
I see.
Yeah, so
Okay.
with that in mind, we created a product that is so easy to use, no
Mhm,
brainer, and for the busy people, like Singaporeans are very busy, but
okay.
yet to be busy but sustainable, that is what we're trying to create, a very convenience way without taking a hit at the environment, and
Mhm,
yet you enjoy the product knowing that it's good for yourself.
okay. So out of curiosity, what are the first two or three products that you created for your company? Mm,
We created a hand and body wash tablets.
okay.
And what they do is that we realize hand and body wash is something that we consume on a huge amount.
Mm,
So that would definitely take away a lot of plastic bottles. So what it did was that it was actually a tablet. Imagine it as a vitamin C kind of
mm,
effervescent
okay.
pill. Yeah.
Mm,
So all you need, right, is to reuse your existing bottle, add the tablet, add water. In 20 minutes time, it will turn into one big bottle of hand and body wash. So
wow.
in any way, after you finish the body wash, it will be reused and the plastic bottle will still remain on your bathroom, in your bathroom.
Mm,
So
mm,
that all you need, you do not need to carry any heavy bottles from Watson. Your storage will
mhm,
not be so much because it's just one paper tablets. Our customer find it very how do I say convenient,
mm,
and
mm.
it's so easy for them. So basically they can buy 10 bottles in 10 tablet form.
Okay. So it saves a lot of storage space for them also. And
Saves
yet at the
storage,
same time,
saves shipping around, how heavy,
mm,
and then of course saves wastage on the plastic bottles.
wow, awesome, awesome. So what
Yeah.
are some common misconceptions about sustainable products that you have encountered and how do you address them?
Okay, a lot of people will think that sustainable products are very expensive,
Hmm.
and sustainable products are very out of the way, meaning that you need to change your whole lifestyle just to adjust yourself,
Okay.
and then it's very inconvenient.
Okay. Not
Yeah,
so
it's very,
sustainable.
yeah, it's not it's very inconvenient, and that's the reason. I think that convenient, they are like a link. So
Okay.
sustainability can be for a lot of people, right?
Mm,
Sustain a lifestyle like this.
mm, mm.
Convenience is one of it that we put into place because
Okay.
that will make you able to link on this habit. So
Mm,
that is one. And a lot of misconception also greenwashing. So a lot of people say, oh, you keep saying that you are sustainable, but we realize you're not. So
Mm.
like, I mean, some
Okay.
people package in like paper, like
Okay.
inside the plastic. So that is a lot of greenwashing because at the end it just defeat the purpose of sustainability.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just using that as a way to
To
promote
reach out.
products and reach out, but in a way, it's like a scam. Huh?
Yeah, in a way. So unfortunately, a lot of people started to like doubt
Mm-hmm.
sustainability. And also
Okay.
because a lot of people do not understand why sustainable products are so expensive and yet
Mm.
so hard to adjust your lifestyle around it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
that's the reason why we came into this place, seeing that there's this loophole about people looking at sustainable products.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned about the high prices for sustainable products, right? How does your own products compare with other type of products that are non-sustainable?
We try to price ourselves
Mm-hmm.
uh, according to some of them, but of course we are not able to, was
Mm-hmm.
because first it is very hard to manufacture our stuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
something new, and because it's something new, it's not in bulk.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we are not able to hop onto the scaling that
Mm.
part.
Okay.
And also, if we want to manufacture a lot, and if the things are not being used, it
Okay.
is considered waste.
Ah, okay.
And where other brands wanted to do a scale, they're able to drive the cost down.
Mm.
And that is where we had that issue
I see.
about like what is sustainability and what is cost sales and what is waste.
Okay.
So these 3 points are not really working well with each other. So we
Mm.
do it in a small scale and hoping people will get onto the board of like trying to change their lifestyle and in
Mm.
this way able to drive the scale bigger
I
so that
see.
we're able to drop down the price. So that's
Okay.
why a lot of sustainable brands are having that issue as well because at the
Mm.
end of the day, we are just trying to cut down on waste.
Yeah. I think because you are also, only 4 years into this business, you
Mm.
are still extending your market outreach. And maybe at this point in time, you are not able to predict accurately what is the, quantity that you need to produce every month or every year, right?
Correct.
You do not have too much unnecessary waste in the process of doing this sustainable, products, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
So we are in the part in the process of education,
Mm,
and the education takes time.
yeah.
But for every tablet that we sold, we know that each bottle is being saved. So
Mm,
that really keep us going for now.
wow.
Yeah, and
So
the
I'm
price
very,
I feel that the price point we are making into between high end and the mass market somewhere in between that everyone are able to take it. So
okay.
that's what we're trying to make a sustainable product, not as what the misconcept people are having.
So it's probably just marginally more expensive, right? And I believe this is a cost that most people will be able to afford to help really save the world, with all this unnecessary waste.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
And one more thing to highlight was that
Mm,
a lot of people had that misconcept, like say for example, if I buy another brand which is a full bottle,
mm, mm.
buy say for example $6.
Okay.
But if I buy a tablet which is just a very small pill at six
Mhm.
dollars, the feel and texture, like I got a bigger thing at $6, I feel like it's so worthwhile. Then another person say, I buy so little thing, then it's still at $6. So that misconcept about holding big
Ah,
item and
they look
selling.
at more of the quantity rather than the value of the product, right?
Exactly, exactly. So that concept, we're also trying to change the behavior of it. So in a way, all these things that's what we're trying to make was that we're changing the behavior and the thoughts. It takes
Okay.
time, but I think everyone is working towards it. Especially we all realize how climate change is driving everything to from fuel car to electric
Mm,
cars. It may be a slow, but I can see we are working towards it.
yeah. And with all these climate changes, in happening in the world right now, with floods and suddenly drought and typhoons happening all around, I
Right.
think this is really a very good wake-up call for all of us to
Yeah.
look into all this.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay. So can
Yeah.
you share any insights or strategies for other entrepreneurs who want to start a sustainable business?
Yes. Well, first of all, I guess when you want to jump into sustainable wagon,
Mm-mm,
you need to know what is working
mm-hmm.
internally, and you have to check your clientele. What we face along the way, which I would like to share and hope that they won't jump into the same thing,
Okay.
is that we didn't realize that missing point was the education part.
Okay.
So we had like, oh my God, that's a great idea. What
Mm,
it hit all the right point, but we
mm-mm.
forgot about the education. We probably takes a longer time for the company to turn around.
Okay.
So for example, like I we manufacture this, we are so confident, we
Mm-mm.
already do what our deal, but we forgot about how human takes time to adapt.
Okay. That's very true. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, it's still the consumers that's most important, right?
Exactly. So the
Yeah.
adapting part was the thing that caught us by surprise because
Okay.
we thought that this is so like when you thought like everything makes sense for you, everything is so easy, it just hit all the right point. But we
Mm-mm.
forgot the human client itself. It takes time
Mm-mm.
to believe and
Yeah.
it takes time to make a habit.
And I think for a lot of businesses, especially startups, right? We always talk about this thing called the MVP, minimum viable product. So you create this MVP and test out the market first to see whether there's a demand. And only when there's a demand or favorable response, then you go and kind of scale and really go big into it, right?
Yep. Exactly. I think that's the right way to do that also.
Okay. So currently, how are you educating consumers on your products?
Okay, there's a few things. As I previously shared, was that I started with workshops.
Okay.
So we still continue teaching people how to make their own products while advocating why we're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part is every time we do this workshop, everybody agree with us, which is a great thing
Yeah.
because at least we are not in the stage where customer are still like doubting. Everybody is now right at the wagon. It's just about
Mm.
the next action, which is
Okay.
great. Right now, the
Okay.
consumer are on the wagon, but just don't know how to do it.
All right.
So having the workshop get them closer and they started asking questions on how they can do it, and we're always able to share. So that is the one that put us with the clients closer.
Okay.
And another way is, of course, via social media.
Okay.
So social media, we'll try to tell them what we're doing, what we're cooking every day, and our
Mm,
thoughts, and to share like close up the brand and the consumer, so
mm,
that
mm.
they are able to trust you. Because as a new brand, you are just a stranger.
Yes.
So they have to see your everything and align with the founders.
Mm.
That is able to make them more closer to you and advocate your brand. So
Yes.
that is one way of what we do.
Okay. So you mentioned about workshops, right? How and where are these workshops conducted? And if let's say, for example, companies want you to go in to share this workshop with their staff during, maybe the lunchtime or what, would that be something that you can do?
Yeah, we do. We do through the lunchtime workshop. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
company like arrange for
Okay.
those their bonding session,
Mm-hmm.
and then they will ask us in and then teach them while they enjoy making stuff, and then
Okay.
they can get to know about a little bit of sustainability, a little bit about how to make and the ingredients, and
Okay.
to appreciate slow living.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we'll just talk about our products, and because it's easy to access, it's not so difficult for them to try it out.
Okay. You
Yeah,
mentioned just now about social media, right? So are y'all like, visible on Facebook, Instagram, or that?
we are. So we are most apparently right now our clientele is usually in Instagram.
Okay.
I guess it takes something for people to more open to try out are usually in the Instagram era.
Mm-mm.
TikTok, we'll try working on it, but
Okay.
it's still a new platform. So right now, Instagram works for us. Facebook, not so much. In fact, most of our people are in Instagram.
I see, I see. So what is your what do you call it? The handle, is it? Instagram handle?
It's called JOMO Studio.
JOMO Studios. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Thanks for sharing that. So how
Mm.
has the market for sustainable products evolved since you started in 2020, and what future trends do you foresee?
Well, from what I see um for sustainable products, it seems like a lot of small brands are coming out,
Okay.
meaning not the big brothers, big
Mm.
companies. Instead, it's people who are like you and me,
Okay.
like come out and started to do things. I believe it was more of a, people realize it and
Mm,
they have to start doing that. And then more of these kind of founder-led brands that's
mm.
doing sustainable coming out and is working very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the next thing is more and more brand that works on how do I say solid products,
Mm.
and even people are looking at carbon print, and even towards packaging everybody is trying to change it to more paper bags, and F&Bs are also working towards it. It seems like more and more company are trying to look up to sustainability,
Okay.
then implement into that.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
So now that you have mentioned all this, right, this thought suddenly came to my mind. Is it
Mm.
because there's some government grants, have been released to support companies going into all this sustainable biodegradable packaging?
Because I think that not only because like the government grant, it's
Mm.
also the carbon goal for
Okay.
companies. So big companies are taking steps because they are taxed for their carbon print. So in a way,
Uh,
one leads to another. Everybody start, and then during a lot of like talks about businesses,
mm.
sustainable is always one of the trending.
Okay.
So everybody are like being washed about like, okay, we need to do this, we need to do that. And then that's when people started to take into consideration about sustainability. With big companies coming in to ask for more sustainable products, they also see the needs and the demands. And of course, with consumers themselves also asking for that, then that is
Okay.
where everybody jump into the wagon, and you will see more and more people trying to put one sustainable point into their business.
Okay.
Recently there's a lot of sustainable lessons, how do I say,
Mm, mm, mm.
classes
Okay.
coming out, and it seems that everyone is into like managing their business into a green form, which is great.
Mm, mm. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's when I see a move of that. But I feel that somehow we are on the very, very top layer of sustainable. We haven't go into deep inside
Mm,
yet.
mm. I'm sure.
But yeah, but everyone is trying, as you can see. Everyone
Okay.
wants to try and see how it works. And that
Right.
is a great part already.
So we need more heroes like you to really, bring everybody on the right path to sustainable living, minimizing waste.
Yeah, because sustainable itself comes in a lot of forms.
Mm, mm.
So it could be sustainable banking, sustainable. So sustainable at that point, right, is which, can I say even, like which branch are you?
Okay.
Like yeah,
Mm,
sustainable can be like something, uh, you know, you don't you keep on say for example sustainable farming.
mm, mm.
Sustainable farming is how to farm in a way that you can keep on you reusing it. So
Okay.
sustainable itself has a lot of different criteria.
Like aspects, different facades to it, right?
Exactly, exactly. So sustainable can
Mm,
be so, but at the end of the day, it's just reusing whatever is had to make sure there's sustainable growth. Like
mm.
growth that you don't finish out something and take away something and never comes back. It will always
Okay.
be like a circle. Just think
Okay.
sustainable as a circle.
So what is the problem that, you often face for having a sustainable beauty product business?
Oh, yeah, I was telling you like last week we were talking with a bunch of NTUs.
Mm,
So it's
mm,
very cute that they came out with these questions like,
mm,
hey Joey, why don't you use the leaping bunny
mm.
certification or other things like vegan, like ISO kind of thing.
Mm-mm.
So, actually, when we started this business, we had so much thought about having the EWG accreditation, the Leaping Bunny, all this
Okay.
brand ISO. But unfortunately, all this costs money,
Okay.
and some of them are renewable by every year
Oh
and
my
by
God.
SKU.
Okay.
So to make our product easy access for our consumers, we are unable to take on these accreditations.
Mm-mm.
That is why that is one of the problems that people feel that, oh, I feel that you're greenwashing me, but then you don't have the credits to call for, and
Okay.
yet you are expensive. So all these are just um on the opposite, like I want to be
Okay.
this, I want to be that, but I can't because I
Mm.
want to give you accessible price for you to access sustainability.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
because
that's
of all these so-called extra fees that you have to pay to the authorities, right, to get all these certifications or accreditations, the cost ultimately will be passed down to the consumers at the end of the day,
yes,
right? So it
correct.
becomes not sustainable.
Yes, and also one more thing is like when people look at our whole process, right? Some
Mm,
people say, oh, if you are sustainable, right, you should look at all your process. So all these are add up costs.
mm,
So
mm.
like small businesses like us, we want to do the whole 9 yards,
Okay.
but we can't because of the number of amount of money, capital to support this whole thing is
Okay.
almost it's kind of very difficult, and also trying to surmount to people's how do I say suspicion on greenwashing. That is a lot of points that we have to tackle on. So
Mm,
these are
mm,
the problems that we want to tell the consumer that as much as we want to be like 360 kind of sustainable
mm,
with
mm.
packaging, with how things are shipped, even to the point of how things are taken out from, we
Okay.
would love to run that whole 9 yards.
Mm,
But
mm.
because of the whole 9 yards, we are unable to make our business sustainable and
Okay.
also pass the cost to other people, which we do not want to.
Wow.
So
That's
that's like the problem that we face.
that's a very big dilemma and struggle, right?
It does, it does. Just like one of the reasons about like I want to make like a lot of products and
Mm,
send
mm.
it to, but then I also do not want to waste them. So when we sustainable and waste
Oh,
and business all comes in place, there's this difficult how do I say crash?
okay.
We're trying to solve it.
You need to find that sweet spot, right, between all these things.
Exactly. That's the
Okay.
sweet spot we're trying. But we hope that, with more people on the wagon, they start
Mm,
to
mm.
see that's the difficulty we are going through and be less critical
Mm,
about the
mm.
running of it as small business try to be more sustainable.
Okay.
And there was one point was that a lot of people will question, oh, where do you manufacture this? Right. Yeah. I have to say, initially, I'm just like anyone. I want to be done here because
Mm,
of grid carbon. You don't want things to be shipped in
okay.
because that will create more carbon print, right? So we
Mm,
started doing it in Singapore.
okay.
But we realized it's not possible because of a high cost.
Okay.
That's why people will say, "Oh, sustainable products are very expensive."
Okay. Wow.
That
Not
yeah.
easy.
So we have to go to other countries, and then when it goes to other country, we're unable to track where they find, to that at every point.
Mm, mm.
And then by the time reach to us and sell it to the consumer, I can't even safely say that all these are like, all the whole 9 yards from the extraction to the
Mm.
shipping, all these, I can't do it.
Okay.
So so that is one of the issue that we hope that consumer will understand
Mm,
how
mm.
we are trying our best, and
Okay.
then we are just trying to cut down on one point, and we believe in it. So for right now, right, we believe in cutting on plastic bottles.
Mm. Okay.
That's one aspect of sustainability that we're tackling. And
Okay.
if there is any way, right, we would love to we'll do whole 9 yards of the extraction and the process until to the final.
Okay. So to all our viewers, right,
Right.
now is the time for you to do your part on sustainability and minimizing environmental waste and also to support local business, right? So how can someone who is interested in your products get in touch with you or even to join your team?
Well, they can write to us. We're welcome to anyone who is really uh very tempted or very wanted to find out how your action can help.
Okay.
You can write to us at info@jomostudio.sg, or
Okay.
you can DM us in our social media.
Mhm.
And if you have any ideas, we have great consumers writing to us about how we can do our things better. And
Mhm.
any comments or even encouragement, we
Mm.
will highly welcome.
Okay.
Yes.
So are your products available on places like Lazada, Shopee, and all that?
Okay. That we did put in Lazada for once,
Okay.
but because it's very hard for us to continue with their campaigns.
Okay.
Yeah. So in a way, we are still in the education part. So we
Mhm.
spend most of our efforts on online and some of the collaborative retailers that we have.
Okay.
So this right now is more in the phase of experimentation and education.
Mhm.
And then in the long run, once everybody knows how to use this thing, it will be easy access to all.
Okay. Got it.
Mm,
So Joey, thank you so much for sharing your journey and insights into sustainable living with all of us today. And I think
thank
it's very inspiring to see how JOMO Studio is not only committed to creating eco-friendly products, but also educating, consumers through your workshops on the importance of sustainability in our everyday life. I believe your dedication to high quality, clean beauty products made with integrity truly sets you apart in the industry. So to all our viewers, remember that choosing sustainable options is an investment, not just to the environment, but also in our health and future. Let's all make informed choices and support local businesses like Jomo Studio that are making a positive impact. I wish you all the very best in your business, Joey, and
you.
thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me, Giguan. Really appreciate and spreading this sustainable to other people as well. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
You're most welcome. Bye bye.